Hey teachers, I'd like to show you three of the new question types in Canvas New Quizzes. If you'll look here, this is the interface of Canvas New Quizzes. You'll notice that it's a little bit more material in nature, has a little bit clearer interface, and you can find settings, reporting, and moderating, all these things here. But let's get right to the meat of this and go ahead and create some new questions. So the three different types of questions that we can create, or the additional types of questions, are categorization. We also have hotspot, and then we also have ordering here. And so those are not available in the current, what we call classic quizzes. The first one we're going to do right here is categorization. And you'll notice here that I have the opportunity to give the question a title. And this is important because we may want to title the question after, say, a objective or an objective number. So let's just say this is objective 1.1.1. Okay. And then we're going to add the question stem. So in this particular case, we'll do something about mammals and reptiles. So anyhow, we're going to say classify classify the following animals uh, correct by dragging the name to the proper column. It'd help if I learned how to type here. So let's just say mammals, and then we'll go reptiles. All right. And so for mammal, we'll just have a fox. We'll add another answer. We'll put in cat, and then we'll put in dog. And then over here under reptiles, we'll put in lizard and snake. And then we'll do alligator, which is, I don't know, that's not a lizard. We'll just leave that there. There you go. And so what's going to happen is we could put in some additional distractors there. We can also add some options. We can align these to different outcomes if you have those. And then we can also take this and put it into an item bank. And so I'm going to add this to an item bank, and I'm going to create a new item bank called animals. Okay. And so we'll just automatically go ahead and put that in. Now you can see that now that you can see the possible answers are down here. I could drag one of these down here if it was uncategorized. I don't want to do that. So I'm going to go up here and we're just going to preview that question, and you'll see how this categorization works. So now all I need to do is to drag these to the proper column. So I can do right here, a mammal is a dog. I can do a cat right there. And I'm going to mix one of these up here just for a second. Let's just put a fox over here under reptiles, and then we'll just say everything else is a reptile for right now. And let's see what it says. So I'll go ahead and hit submit. It says you will not be able to change your answers. And then we'll go ahead and do that. It's going to auto grade, and you'll notice that I got a 0 out of 1. Well, we can actually change this if we go in here and let's just say we want to give the student partial credit on this particular question. I can go over here to my settings, and then I can either allow multiple attempts, which is here, and then allow the students the highest. Supposed to be able to give partial credit on that question. It doesn't look like that's available to me right now. But anyway, if we go back in and we were to redo that and get everything correct, then it would give us a full credit for that particular question. So that is a categorization question. Let's go over here and we will return, and let's go ahead and go back to that quiz, and let's pop in a new question. Let's try that again. There we go. We have to go down here to build in order to access our questions. And then I'm going to add something called a hotspot. So a hotspot question allows you to basically add a picture or maybe even a PDF, and then create a spot in the PDF that can be clicked for the correct answer. So in this particular case, I'm going to call this I'm going to say for this particular test, I'm going to call this geography, and then landforms one. So this is my first question on landforms. So I'm going to say, in this case, click on the area of the map that shows an isthmus. All right. So anyhow, that's my favorite word for today. And then what I'm going to do here is to add the image. So I can either browse or I can drag and drop now, which is really nice rather than having to upload it first. So I'm going to drag this little world image right here that I found on Google. And notice here that I have the ability to draw the hotspot shape by either putting a square around it, putting an oval around it, or I can do a polygon. Okay, so I can actually, like for instance, just draw different spots. And once the polygon is closed, then I can go ahead and assign the question. So I'm going to go here and I'm just going to do this in an oval. And I'm going to zoom in right here and we're going to give, let's try this area right here. So if the students click anywhere in this area, they're probably going to get it correct. So now that I go ahead and click on done, I can put this in item banking. So I can go ahead, add to existing item bank. Let's see if I've got any item banks in here. Let's look for land. Do I have geography landforms? Oh, there it is. Okay, so I've got one for landforms. That's an existing bank. So I'll go ahead and add that. And then it's now allowed me to put this question in there. Let's go and let's preview this particular question. Let's go back to this quiz. We've added it to the same quiz. So it says click on the area of the map that shows an isthmus. All right. So I'm just going to click right there and let's see what happens. Oop, I've got to do this second question again. We're going to make sure that we get all of our animals correct. So we'll put in the fox, we'll put in the snake, we'll put in the lizard, and we'll put in the alligator. And then we'll just go ahead and click on submit. Once we do that, it's going to grade that for us. And notice that I got 2 out of 2 points. It says click on the area of the map. It says that I got the correct answer. Notice that it also gives me all of the categorization questions there. So this is a really neat way uh, for you to be able to um, give different types of questions that are going to test students on things that they might not otherwise be able to do, or they may be kind of complicated. So for instance, it used to be years ago, you would have to actually upload a picture that was labeled and then tell the student to select the proper label and put in, like for instance, the match the letter to the proper place. Well, in this case, they can just point directly to it. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to exit the preview right here. And we're going to add another question type. And in this particular case, I can go to ordering. Okay, so if I want to, I may want to create a, um, a question for the order of operations. So let's just go here. We'll call this order of operations. Okay. Uh, place the operations in the correct order. Now, I'm no math teacher here, but I do think that I remember PEMDAS, so I'm going to go P, E, M, and then we'll go D, and then we'll do A, and then we'll add S. So we've got PEMDAS here. We can include labels, for each of these things. I can align this to bank. I can put that into a bank if I want to. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on done here. And then what I do is when I click on preview, and I'm not going to take this test again, but I'm going to show you exactly how this works. I can now drag these into the correct order, and it will sort these in random ways. So you can't have, there may be only one way to do it, but they'll be in different orders. So for every person. So we'll do that one right there. We'll do that one right there. There you go. So we have now PEMDAS as our order of operations. We click here. I didn't want to go ahead and go through this whole thing again, but you can see how each of these quiz items works. So these are very easy questions to add. They're very easy questions to categorize. You can just take those, put those in a take those and put those into quiz banks, or what in this case, we're going to call them item banks for the new quizzes. And that will make it easier for you to actually create question groups that can draw from. So, for instance, let's just say you have one question that covers landforms. You could have 10 different questions that you could draw from, and every student get a different question in that particular place. And so that's going to increase your test security. It's also going to make your tests, if you self-grade your tests, if you have selected response or a specific response, then it's going to allow you to grade those tests, and you don't have to have several different keys there in front of you. It's just going to go ahead and do that for you. So anyway, those are the three different types of new questions available to you in new quizzes. If you have any further questions about that, please let me know. Either come by the Learning Commons and see me, or you can send me an email, jbar@ccsk12.com.